Hey, what up, guys? Another episode in my 21 episode podcast challenge. So, we're just gonna get it done today, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. So, in the gym attire. But, hope everyone's having a great week. Wanted to come in and talk about essentially this next episode's all gonna be about enjoying the process. And I kind of want to. Basically, I'm documenting this as the journey on what I'm finding throughout my every challenge, but like especially this podcast challenge, because each one has basically been these stepping stones on what I've been going through and what I've been learning as I've been doing this. So I kind of started off with just starting. You know, we all start somewhere. We all start from zero. We all start with no listeners. We all everything. You just start with no knowledge of kind of what to do, how to do it, and that's where we go into it. So you start, and then basically you realize that it's all on you. So then I kind of went into accountability, making sure that you're the one taking control of your life. You're the one in power, and anytime you place blame, you're giving your power away. So that's kind of the next episode. And then basically as you do those two things, that's when you transform. And what I have found in my journey is when I transform the most is once I took those two things, I always just start, and then I always take accountability for the things that happen and things go wrong. It's all on me. It's my fault, my responsibility, however you want to put it. But basically, it's just everything is on you, and that's where you always have the power to change it. And now those two will transform your life in a drastic way. But then once you kind of do those things, it's all about taking the small wins, turning them into big wins. Then I went into overthinking and kind of how we always come up with excuses. Like we all have them. And no matter what age you are, no matter what you've been through, like there's always things where you can do the things that you say you want to do, but we just have to get past those limiting beliefs and those excuses. And then I went into how once you do those things and you push past that and you do get discomfort, that's where you have to push past that pain, and that's where you grow. And then once you push past the pain, you fail, you become more resilient, and then it grows and grows and grows. That journey becomes awesome. The next episode, I believe I went into leadership, talking about how if you can lead yourself, you can then lead others, which becomes an exciting journey because then you start building momentum. That was the next episode. But then once you kind of build that momentum, you still realize that, man, I'm not where I'm at. I'm not where I want to be. I'm so far away from where I want to be. I'm comparing again, all of that stuff. So then you find the gratitude. So you circle back, you get grounded, you find the things that you can be grateful for in the process. Which brings me to the episode today, which is all about basically just falling in love with the journey. You know, it's becoming... all of this is about becoming the person that you want to be. And the great part about even when you become the type of person that you want to be, no one can take that away from you. You know, it's your character, it's who you are, it's your identity. And when you do that and when you build that type of resilience and momentum and taking action and being who you say you are and keeping the promises to yourself, when you do that, you become someone else. Like you become a new version of yourself where people have to get to know you. Sounds so not right, but they have to get to know you. You know, it's like that's what's really, really cool about it is you grow, you build, you become this new person, and you learn to love that. And that's what I want to talk about today because, you know, these accomplishments are so cool. Like, it's so great. I can, at the end of this month, hopefully I get there. I think I can. But, you know, at the end of this month, I'm going to say, like, oh, like, I have 21 podcast episodes. I'm a 1% podcast. And then what? You know, it's like... if I didn't learn to love doing this, if I didn't learn to love the process, then it's just kind of, you just ask yourself, and now what? So, but if I love the process and I make the accomplishment of this 21 episodes, then I will continue to do it because it's a type of person I have become. And I have built and grown my skills in this way, which makes me more capable to do it again and again and again. And I have accepted full responsibility. I don't blame anybody else. I took the small actions. I got uncomfortable. I have people not care. I have people not pay attention. You know, it's like I have people who do pay attention and do watch my videos and my podcasts. But the really cool part about this, and just to share the journey in my first 21 episodes, I've had multiple people tell me, reach out, send messages, talk to me personally about the fact that I'm doing this has been beneficial for other people, not just for me. You know, of course this has been beneficial for me, but at the end of the day, by me doing this, by me pushing myself, getting uncomfortable, building my resilience, taking this journey, I have impacted someone else in my life. I've impacted people from the other side of the world. I've impacted people who just know me and have seen these challenges that I've been doing. And that's what's really, really cool. And that's where I've really enjoyed this process now. You know, I'm learning to love it because, I've done the thing. I proved to myself that I can do it. And even with the few listeners that I have, or the people that are somewhat paying attention to me, I've been able to impact people. And now, if I continue to do it over the next 10, 20, 30 years, I will get pretty damn good at this, and I will impact people on a greater scale. Because I'm learning to enjoy this process and it's becoming a part of who I am. I can now say at the end of this month, if I get to 21 episodes, which I will, I can say I have a 1% podcast. I can say I ran 480 kilometers. I could say I did 10,000 push-ups. I can say I have the ability to go out and make a new friend. I can go up and say hi to someone and start the conversation. I have the ability to start to learn guitar. I'm not good. I suck still. Terrible. So bad. But if I continue to practice and still get good, and to be honest, of my challenges on who I've become this year, that's probably one of the ones that have fallen off the most. Like I did it that month, and I do it every once in a while. I'll grab the guitar and strum and just try and learn and practice. But like at the end of the day, who I want to be, like obviously that just might not be on my priority list. Like some of this, like definitely this podcast is probably a little bit closer of who I want to be. But the guitar is just a fun thing. Muay Thai is a fun thing. And those things are things that I can do on a one-off because I have the skill. I've been disciplined. I can do it. I've been consistent. And I can say I can do it. But then who you become is more important, and this aligns a little bit more. But if I wouldn't have done this year-to-year challenge, I wouldn't have found that out. I wouldn't have that self-awareness in who I want to be, where I'm doing these things. Like the fitness challenges I love because I'm a person who's obsessed with like fitness. I just love it. Like those challenges are so fun to me. When I think about doing like crazy runs or Murph challenges, like that's my definition of a fun day off, is pushing myself so hard that I'm exhausted, which is like most people think I'm crazy, which is like, okay, cool, like that's fine. I'm not saying that that's what you have to do. I'm saying that's what I like to do. And then there's people that push themselves 10 times harder than I ever have. So it's like we all have our balances. We all have what we enjoy doing, and we all have our definition of fun, and we all just find things different. And I never want to preach my stuff on anybody else, but like that's just what I like to do, and I like to be around people who like to do the same things as I do, just like anybody else in the world. So really, really cool stuff. Basically that's what I wanted to come in and talk about, is once you've done everything, you know, you take the action, you get uncomfortable, you build resilience, you don't give up, you make it happen, you build that momentum where you continue to do it regardless of action, or regardless of results. Like then you find the gratitude even when you're not getting results. That's when you hit this and you enjoy the process. And no matter what accomplishment you hit, it's part of your identity, and you will continue to do that thing. And that's just what I'm finding. That's what I've done through every challenge I've done this year. It's what I've done in the past with even promotions or going for jobs or like in my job, you know, it's like you can apply that to everything in your life, you know, it's like even in friendships, like there's a way to like enjoy the process of being a good friend. It's like, oh, like, because then you get reward. So for example, let me try and come up with an example because I don't know what I'm about to say. But basically, so say you like you fall in love with loving the process of becoming a good friend. So you take the uncomfortable action of sending the message that someone you haven't talked to in a while, and you're like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I love you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful that we're friends, I know we haven't talked in a while, which is uncomfortable. Sometimes it comes across weird, or they don't know, or you haven't talked in ages and you just don't know if they'll receive it well. But I guarantee you do it, you take the uncomfortable action, you do that thing, it's a small win. But then, who knows? You know, you did that, you got discomfort, but you did it anyway, so then you actually became resilient. But then, say you do it again, you're building momentum. You do that every day for a week, that becomes a habit, becomes who you are. But then, you start getting messages back, and your friends start responding to you, saying like, dude, wow, I literally just thought about you last week, like, miss you too, like, let's catch up for a coffee. And then all of a sudden, like, your friend that you haven't talked to, that you haven't hung out with in a minute, like, becomes someone that you start hanging out with again, all because you took that uncomfortable action. Then you learn to love the process of becoming a good friend. So that's just a weird example that I just came up with on the spot. So I hope that was like articulated okay. Definitely let me know if it is or isn't, because I want to get better. So I think that was pretty solid, to be honest. I think I would hopefully I'm gonna listen back to it, and I hope it makes sense for me too. So that's good. But that's just kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to loving the process. Is it becomes who you are, and that's when you learn to love it. And no accomplishment will make you so good that you're just okay and you never want to accomplish anything ever again. You know, like, we're wired to want to accomplish things, and that's what's really cool about the human existence. And the one thing that I do want to share is like, enjoy the accomplishment and be present in it, but at the end of the day, like, you're always going to find the next chapter, the next thing you want to strive for, the next thing you're going to push for. And that's just been my journey. And I just feel like even when you are complacent or you are just like good, I feel like even then, most of the time, you're still trying to get better at something, whether you're genuinely just trying to like eat more healthy. That's one thing that you can apply this stuff to. Can you enjoy the journey and like learn to love the process and get uncomfortable and learning to eat healthy, or work, or golf, or like, there's so many things, sports, like whatever you spend your spare time, hiking, you know, you could do a harder hike. There's like everything that you do in your life, you can always find a way to push your limits and push your boundaries and learn to love the process of getting uncomfortable. So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about today in today's episode. Got to get headed to the gym, but that's it. Yeah, I think that's kind of the main thing for today. Hopefully we got some good thoughts, good things across in this one. And yeah, it is what it is. Another podcast episode down. So thanks for tuning in to Contribution with Connor, and hopefully we contributed something in this episode. All the best, and I hope everyone's having a great day, week, life. And as always, stay tuned.